I'm Pastor Pearse Frazier with Morning Star Chapel in Alpharetta, Georgia. This is part 2 of a series that we're doing on Divine Providence. So I'm going to read a little bit from the work Divine Providence, which is given to us by the Lord through Emanuel Swedenborg, an 18th century theologian. This is from chapter 2, number 28. Heaven is the conjunction with the Lord. Heaven is not heaven from the angels, but from the Lord. For the love and wisdom in which the angels are, and which constitutes heaven, are not from the angels, but from the Lord, and are, in fact, the Lord in them. And since love and wisdom are the Lord's and are the Lord in heaven, and since love and wisdom constitute the life of angels, it is clear that their life is the Lord, and in fact is the Lord's. Heaven is made up out of people. The purpose of your life, of my life, of anyone's life, of anyone you see in the whole world, is that they are led to become an angel. That's the purpose of creation. Now, we'll talk later, and it is a sad fact, that many people choose not to follow that plan. That we are free to reject the Lord and choose evil. But that's not the Lord's plan. That's not His goal. It's not the reason for creating us. Now, I have children, and the best part of myself, not always all of me, but the best part of myself, looks at my children, and what I want most for them is to have real happiness. Now, it's true that some people want specific goals or success, some kind of honor, reputation, or gain, some kind of thing for their children. But if they're willing to think deeper, why? Do parents want their children to be productive, tax-paying units? Why? Is it because they want them to just become a productive cog in society? Why? Why should people contribute? Why should people be productive? Why does the national economy matter? Is it a good in and of itself? Why do we like society, America, the economy? Why? Do nation states in and of themselves have value? I'm a patriot. I love America. But I love America not as an end in itself, but as a means to something that is an end. The purpose of the economy, of society, of America is to serve the individuals in it. America is not a nation state that happens to have people in it. America is a collection of people who happen to be Americans and thereby constitute the state. Heaven is not first a place that then is filled with people. Heaven is first within people. And thereby, because it's made up of them, it is a thing. The Lord loves people, actual, real individuals. Remember how we said how the Lord has a plan for everyone to bring them happiness, to bring them angelic peace and contentment, to help them become a loving person? That's His plan. And we can be a part of it. To be conjoined with the Lord means to work with Him, to be on His team, to be allied with Him. I want this for me, certainly. I also want it for my children. I don't have the power in my life to love humanity. I can try. I can theoretically, sort of in my mind as a mental experiment, acknowledge that I have love for everyone. Not as a collective, not for humanity or America, but for Americans, for human beings. Because that's where the central unit of value resides. Happiness is not a mystical collective, but resides in the heart and experience and life of every individual. So we have to ask ourselves, how can we make that happen? Imagine a homeless man, and they've got grimy fingers, and they look a little unsafe, and you probably don't want your kids playing near them. What value do they have to society, to the state, to the nation? Not a lot. But what value do they have to the Lord? What love should we have for them? One of the hard facts about life, one of the most humbling things that I can think of for myself, is how incredibly finite and limited and weak I am. I can love my own children. I'm really good at it. I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty good at it because I know them. They're in my life. They're in my home. I have power over them. I know about their situation. But a homeless man on a park bench of some random park, I don't know them. I don't have power over their life, really. I don't know what they need. And in many ways, I can't love them. I can't love them effectively. It's amazing how many people in our society are homeless or are sick and imprisoned or are hungry and thirsty. One of the challenges that we have to come to terms with is that while even if we want to love all the people in our society, realistically, we're just not good at it. Because to be really good at helping someone means to get involved in their life. To love someone, you must know them. The Lord knows them. For the Lord, we are all His children. And He loves all of us like a mother hen her chicks, with His wings wrapped around, wanting to protect us from the elements. Yet He lets us go to be free, to make bad decisions, to hurt one another. And yet what He wants more than anything else for every single person He has ever created is for them to be happy, for them to have a fulfilling, thriving life where they love other people. Because that's the secret to happiness. Happiness isn't getting what you want. It's wanting to love others and being able to. That I am able to love my children as a dad who's trying to get better at being a dad is a source of unending joy for me. I can love my children because I have knowledge about them, which is why the Lord gives us truth. The Lord gives us truths in His Word, like the 10 Commandments, because knowledge is power. Power to love. So, the Lord has given us tools to love one another, even strangers. When it says, love your neighbor, it's saying, love the person who's next to you. Do good for them. Shun evil for their sake. And that's what it's all about. It's all about real people in your actual life, in your concrete, small little life, who are right there, who you know and who you can love. What's the meaning of life? What's the purpose of life? To love one another as He loves us. Not loving humanity, but loving actual people. And the way we do that is through these institutions and through these organizations, through states and nations and governments and churches and food banks and shelters and schools. We love one another through these tools where we apply knowledge to love our neighbor. And in that is the Lord's kingdom. Love. It's all about love. That the Lord loves us. He created creation. That He loves us. He wishes us to be happy. that he loves us. He wishes us to love one another as he surely loves us. Please let us know in the comments, what are some ways that you have found to love the Lord by loving the neighbor? How do we better serve all those real people in the world? Thank you for joining us, and God bless.